Oh shoot. What's going on? What's going on, man?
Man, it's been a long time, like a very, very long time.
This been a second. It's been a second.
I
It's been
know, I know. So are you in Nashville or are you in Philly?
I am in Nashville, Tennessee. I am in Nashville, Tennessee.
Awesome. So are you came down you just stayed there from the quarantine or because I know I know with my school things have been remote. It's just been very different. So I was just
Hmm.
wondering because I know you were in Philly because I know when I was stationed in Rhode Island, we linked up when you were in Boston. So
Right. Oh shoot. What's going on? What's going on, man?
yeah.
Whew.
So were you up there? Are you still in Nashville? Like, are you teaching remotely, or what are you doing? We linked up when you were in
I
Boston. So
was here. Um, I moved back to Nashville because of the quarantine. I was in Philly working, doing my music
mm,
thing. A shout out to Philly. Um, and yeah, I was on a tour. I was on a tour. I was touring with the Village People. I was also doing work with Royal Caribbean when COVID hit, and we were in France. Um,
bonjour.
yeah, for real. We were in France, and yeah, we were quarantined like 4.5 weeks.
Wow.
And, um, April April 11th is when I got the email saying that we could come back to America,
Mm,
and I could not get a flight to Philly. I don't know whatever um, restrictions and such that they had, and so I flew um, to Nashville via LAX. So I got a flight from France to LAX and then LAX to Nashville, and
okay.
I was here with family, just kind of waiting it out, kind of seeing what COVID was all about because it was still new at the time. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And we were supposed to go back on the tour because we didn't know how long everybody was going to be quarantined in their houses and such.
right.
And this was like April, May, June,
Mm-hmm.
July, and nothing never happened. We were just still on lockdown. All the quarantine stuff, and here it is, January 2021, and I'm still here. So I just decided to move on back. So I'm here.
So I know you miss Philly. Do you miss going to Ishka and getting the cheese steak?
Oh shit.
I know about Ishka like, hey.
Yeah, Ishka Bibbles, Max's,
Mhm.
yeah. I actually was in a homegirl of mine. She's in South Jersey,
Okay.
and turned 30, so I was able to sneak out there this weekend. And so I got my little Philly, South Jersey
The
little
fix.
pick me up.
You got your
Yeah,
fix.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah, I got my
Cool.
fix, and I'm good as long as I get my fix because I definitely was not ready. Um, Especially mentally, I was not ready to move. I mean, anywhere. I was out there doing my thing. I was trying to, climb up in the music scene, and I was actually, making good strides, going, kind of towards the goals and such like that. And for it to, just be snatched like that,
Game.
I
Yeah.
like get my mind together, like what I mean. But it's cool. It's cool. It's good to be home. Good to be back in the Ville.
Mhm.
Um, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot while I was in Philly, so I'm able to put those things, into good use now here in Nashville.
Awesome. I love that. So we're gonna go ahead and get jump right in. Hey everyone, I'm Camille Essick. It's your girl Camille Essick. I'm the host of the Speaker Podcast. This is the podcast where innovators and creators connect. Tonight I have a special guest. He's like my little big brother from Nashville, Tennessee. My brother and friend, Jscott. I'm about to go home the old name. They like, who was that? Never mind.
Right, right. Even
Jay
I was. What was that?
Jscott, the glove is here. So we want to welcome everyone. So show Jscott some love. Be
All right.
sure to like, comment, share, post. You can follow me on Instagram by hitting the notification button on Instagram at Camille.Essick. You can shop with me online. I have merch there. at CamilleEssex.com. If you have a question, hit me up via email at info@CamilleEssex.com. And all the information regarding the podcast is available on my Facebook page, Speak Our Podcast. So without further ado, Jscott, thank you for joining me. And for those that are not familiar with you, let the viewers and listeners know who you are.
Ma'am, my name is Jscott Martin. I'm a musician here in the city of Nashville. Berklee College of Music grad and alum. Omega Psi Phi fraternity, class 2013. And that, I mean, that, in a nutshell, that's about it. That's about it.
So we're gonna give a little backstory. I met Jscott. We were going to church together. Shout out to Original Christ Temple.
OCT.
All the crew at OCT. I met Jscott at OCT, and from day one, funny, hilarious, cracking jokes. But he was also a very talented and anointed musician. And what could he not do? He played the drums, he played the organ, played the bass, he could sing perfect pitch. You know, he was the king of perfect pitch. And just from then on, and at that time, I met him before. I don't think you were in school yet. Were you in school? I don't think so. And just to see his transformation into who he is now, I'm so glad I met him then, because a lot of times people are underestimated, they're underrated or not taken seriously. And then over time, God can just really shape and mold them, and they evolve to be these awesome people. So it pays to be kind to people, be friends to people, love people who they are, because you don't know what God can do and who they will be in the future. So I'm big on that. One of my friends from college, Emerson, he's one of your bros. He's shouting you out. So
what up? What up?
So yes. But with that being said, we're gonna kind of start in the middle of something here. So I remember going on Facebook one day and you posted a live, and I was like, what is he doing? And you would do these videos of you shouting in the shower with the church robe on, in the street on I-24. I'm just like, but it was hilarious. And I think people needed that. So what really inspired you to make these videos that were going viral, that were hilarious?
Oh man, so I gotta shout out my boy Will Elston from Chattanooga. He was really the original cat to start doing it, and I was just like, I mean, shoot, I do it too. And then we just both kind of got together, and you name it, we had shot anywhere. We were in the suburbs, in the projects, on the highway, in the interstate, McDonald's, ATMs, you know, Walmart, like, you know what I mean, you name it. And basically all we were doing is, you know, we were just young Christians, just, you know, trying to make our praise, even though we were playing, we were just trying to show, like, you know, hey, look, God is good everywhere, you know what I mean? And it doesn't matter, you know, what's going on. It's like, there's no place there's no place that you can't praise God. I mean, so, and that's all it was. And it was fun. You know, we'd be sweating, people be honking their horns and stuff at us. But that was it.
Black people knew what was going on.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? You know, God is good. We just want I don't know, make God famous, popular, whatever. Like, you know, we glorify, you know, Michael Jackson and Beyonce and everybody else, you know what I mean? So, but they didn't wake me up in the morning, and, you know, I could go on and on. But so that was the vibe we was on.
The beginning and the end.
Come on.
I'm not gonna start because we have a show to do, because we'll start showing out for real.
Yeah.
So take us to the moment. I remember logging on Facebook, and you were like, "It's here." And we're like, "What's here?" And you got your degree in the mail, and you open it, and you just cry.
Yeah.
And so for those that are not aware, like, you went through a lot to get that degree. So take us to that moment, the moment you got the degree in the mail, and what was going through your mind. What did that feel like? And give people that did not see the video the understanding of what that moment was like and what it meant for you.
Oh God, man, it'll take all night. I'll try to make it as quick as possible. There's a guy, his name is Demartris. They call him Sax. He is a Berkeley 98 alum. And we were out here in Nashville. This is like around 2008,
Mhm.
2009, I want to say. And I was like busting suds on the city bus. I had worked at FedEx. I was uh, driving buses, cleaning buses and stuff like that. And he was just like, bro, you too talented to be. He's like, no knock on your job. He said, but you too talented to be doing this, man. He said, you should go to my school, Berkeley. Um, and I had never heard of the school. I watched some videos and I was just like, oh, this school is lit. Um, and then I guess I'll fast forward. I got accepted, but I ain't have any money, and so I was doing uh, like fundraising concerts and such. Try to get the money and such like that. I actually auditioned once, auditioned twice. Try to up my scholarship opportunities and such, and I got there. But I ain't have anywhere to live or anything like that. But I was determined to go. And a church out in Murfreesboro called Believers Faith Fellowship um, gave me some money. I want to say it was like $500. It gave me some money. I got a ticket. I got a one-way ticket. I said, I'm not coming back to Nashville or anywhere for that matter until I get a degree from this school. I had already tried to go, to different schools and get my education and such, and it just wasn't working out. It just wasn't my time. You know what I mean? God's time isn't our time. And when I finally got onto campus, and again, I'm making this real quick for time's sake. When I got to campus, it was it was great, but there was a lot of stuff I didn't know. I couldn't really read music. Um, I was just illiterate musically. You know what I mean? And so I had failures and such in class, but eventually, I was going and I was like right at the finish line my senior year, class of 2015. But at graduation, um, they were saying like, okay, some of you guys still have some work that you have to do, past the actual ceremony and whatnot. And we were like, okay, cool. Like I did all the stuff I needed to do, so I wasn't even thinking about it. Um, and so in 2015, I didn't get my degree. There was like some errors with credits and such like that, and so I had to um, basically like work up until 2016. Um, and so when it finally came in the mail, like I couldn't believe it. There was just again some stories that I just don't have the time to tell. But it was hard. It was hard. Berkeley was hard. It was really hard. And so when I got it, and especially like men, bros, whatever you are, it's like we always try to be tough. We always, try to act like nothing bothers us. You know what I mean? And it's just like you're tough and you tense up and you're hard for so long. Almost to kind of keep yourself sane. And when I saw that thing and it said Berkeley College of Music graduate Jscott Martin, I, I lost it, dude. Like I absolutely lost it because I couldn't believe um, that box tosser at FedEx. I worked at Burger King too, like you know what I mean. The bus driver, bus cleaner, you know what I mean. Like I got a degree in what I was called to do, like you know what I mean. And yeah, it was wild, man. And I went bananas, man. I just kept looking at it because I didn't think I'd ever get a degree. So that was, whew, that was that.
That's an amazing moment. Through all of that, Jscott, there were so many storms, so many adversities,
Mm-hmm.
um, in so many ways you could have gone. You could have gone this way, you could have gone that way. Particularly as a man of
Yeah,
color, there's a lot of temptation out there.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
what really kept you on track during the moments of frustration? Um, was it people, God, a combination of that. Your Omega Psi Phi. So, what was the pack of the cues in your life, and what drew you to them? So, can you kind of like unpack that for myself and the viewers so we can get a better understanding of how you
Yeah.
kind of stayed on the right path?
Um. Oh, okay. From a believer standpoint, the obvious answer is like God.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but a lot of people donated money to me. A lot of people donated their time for me. A lot of people donated their gifts and their talents. When I was doing the fundraisers to get money for school, people opened up their churches for free, so I could get money. People gave me rides and people gave me, recommendations and different things like that. So it's like when you think about the sacrifices that other people made that they didn't have to do, you know what I mean? It's just like I can't go out like this. You know what I mean? I gotta. If I don't want it for me, I gotta at least do it for them. You know what I mean? But I did want it. I wanted it for me too. Um, I wanted it for me too. And um, yeah, I thought about the sacrifices that other people did for me, and I didn't want to let them down. Didn't want to let God down or let myself down. I was talented. I did put in the work, and yeah, I just wanted to see it through.
Yeah, so I mean, it's when you put it like that, when people have invested into you,
There you go.
and then you realize that it's not just you that's getting this degree. This was a village effect here.
There you
We're
go.
seeing the results of a village. So,
Hmm.
you know, can you imagine hearing like, man, Jay, like we did this, and how can you quit when we, dipped into our pockets, our wallets to help you win, and then you quit on
Exactly.
only on yourself, but you quit on us because we have faith in you because we see
Yeah.
your light, we see your potential, we see your gifts and your talents and things God giving you. So that would just have a ripple effect.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So in that process when you were in school, what made you choose? What was it about Omega Psi Phi that really like, man, this is home. This is it for me.
Uh, um, um, I mean, to be honest, I wasn't. I mean, all the fraternities, like you see them partying, you see them getting girls and stuff like that. I was a dope musician, so I didn't need Omega Psi Phi to get any of that stuff. You know what I mean? So, um, when I looked at Omega from afar, because you don't know it, until you get in, if you're awarded that opportunity. But what I saw from Omega was strength in numbers, with like physical strength, because you have short midget bros and you have the barbarian bros, and it didn't matter if they were big, small. They just appeared to just never be scared or nervous about anything. They always just had a real dominant presence. You know what I mean? And it's like if you don't look out for yourself, people will walk all over you. And so I was just curious to know like what, and it's like all the bros were like that. It didn't matter if they were in LA or Tennessee or Boston or Texas, you know what I'm saying? All the bros, they all had like certain characteristics that were all similar. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, whatever they got, like I need that. I need that. I want that. You know what I mean? And I've been at gigs, I've been at auditions to where I've been unsure and I've been nervous. But it's just like whatever, they used to say while we were pleasant, like, hey, he made it, you can too if you see it through. You know what I mean? And so when I go to the auditions, it's just like, okay, he's good, he's killing. So, but so are you. So see it through. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, so that tenacity and that uh oh God, I can't even think of the word, but just that oomph, you know what I mean? Like I saw that in Omega, you know what I mean? And so um I just wanted to apply that to what I do in music.
I love that. We all have our stories about why, our why. We call it our why. We all have our
Yeah.
why. So
Yeah.
we're gonna pause for a second. I want to welcome some people in the room. If you're just checking in, this is your girl Camille Essick. I'm the host of the Speaker Podcast. Tonight, my guest is Jscott, aka the Glove. He is here, and we're discussing his journey, surviving storms, and just his resilience, which is very important. I think us as creatives and entrepreneurs, we always want to talk about the highs, but no one wants to discuss the lows. And I think
Mhm.
that's just important because when you're in spaces, people are looking to you like, man, I want to be like you. I want to have what Jscott has, but they don't realize that you paid a price to get there. You went through some things to get there. This thing was not given to you. It was
Mhm.
not handed to you. People don't know behind closed doors, nights or days you went without, tears you cried, the hustles you had to do, to get money or do whatever. And people
That.
always see your rainbow, but they don't acknowledge your storm. So those are
Mhm.
the things we want to discuss.
Yeah.
Emerson, thank you for checking in. Cheryl, thank you for checking in as well. And be sure if you have a question, drop it here. Like, comment, share, post, and follow me on Instagram at camille.essick. You can catch all of other episodes and seasons on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Alexa, TuneIn, just all the streaming platforms. You can find me there. So, Jscott, thank you for jumping in, and we're going to jump right in, continue with the interview, and just sit down and talking with you. So, when you were saying how you were going through those hard moments, and you just had that tough time in your life, so in sharing your story, how is it so important? Because you said something about men try to like keep it hidden, because they want to appear strong. But how
Mhm.
important is, to you for other men, particularly men of color, to hear your story and know what you went through and shedding it light? Because I think there's power in transparency, I believe. And, we should, I'm not saying put all your business out there, but let people know, hey, outside of what you see on social media, I'm a real person. I have feelings, I have things I've gone through. So how is important to you to know, particularly for other Black men, hey, you need to have the right people around you. It's about your circle and just being transparent.
I mean, you said it already. I mean, you spoke about villages and such like that. Yeah, if I didn't have my people, there's just no way. There's just no way. Um, yeah, um, I was homeless at at times. I mean, because you were there. Um, I slept in the church, slept outside the church. Um, I just didn't have it. I just didn't have it together. And the musician's path is always a little bit unique because um, like there's just a different call. A lot of musicians, like we can go and go work at Amazon. We can go and we can work at McDonald's. We can go and do what most other people can do. Not a lot of other people can do what we do. You know what I'm saying? It's a special call. And as great as my daddy is, and as great as my mama is, they weren't musicians. So they can say, you know, go to class, be on time, have manners and all that. Cool. You know what I mean? But I didn't know how to take the music and make a living. You know what I'm saying? Because we just have different journeys. You know what I mean? And so that was the hard part. That's what I had to figure out. And because I really didn't have a musical example, like I just didn't have any um, I just didn't have an example. And so I was doing things that were out of character. Again, no knocking on working at FedEx and different places like that. But like I wasn't called to work at the bus company. I wasn't called to work at FedEx. I was called to do music and be good at it. You know what I mean? And I've been on stages with some goats. I've been on stages with a lot of people now. You know what I mean? But even in all of that, I never forget. Um, you know, being at the church, uh, bumming rides, walking, trying to get different opportunities, walking from North Nashville to Hermitage. Anybody that's from the city that's familiar knows that that's almost insane. Like, you know what I mean? Um,
One thing I can say about you, when I remember you during that time, because at first I didn't know you were homeless, and then some of us found out, a small amount of us found out.
mhm,
And one thing I remember about you going through that process, you still had a good attitude. You were still funny. You still were loving, caring, kind-hearted. You still served. You still played. You still sang.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just whatever anyone needed, even if you didn't have it, you were still willing to share with other people. And those are things I think people don't know about you, because
Mm-hmm.
other people would have taken that as a reason to walk around with a chip on their shoulder or have this sense of entitlement, like, well, this is my situation, so you're supposed to help me. And you did not have
Mm-hmm.
that attitude. Throughout all of it, you still had this light within yourself, this, despite not having, somewhere to go, or because you didn't have a vehicle, Bishop would let you drive the church van to go to where you needed to go. But
Yep.
it was
Yep.
just, yeah,
Thank you, Bishop.
Bishop Johnson. But
Yeah,
it
right.
was,
Thank
yeah. And it was just like, but you were still you. And I think that's so important, as far as not to allow your situation to change your core, your character, your integrity
you.
of
Yeah.
who you are. A lot of people, um, other things can set in: anger, depression,
Mm-hmm.
victimization, entitlement, bitterness. And it was like this stuff was happening, but there was still something here that kept Jscott, Jscott.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. People say like all you need is a chance. Um I felt like, all I needed was a chance. All I needed was for somebody to find me and be like, hey, this is what you need to do. And that's when I was talking about my boy Sax, who was just like, yeah, you don't need to be with this city bus situation. He's like, you need to go to school for music. You know what I mean? And so he was the guy. I mean, until I die, I will shout him and my boy Kersel. I will always shout them out because they were the ones that were like, yeah, you need to go to Berkeley. And I was scared. I was nervous. Like y'all would say, like, oh yeah, he's good, he's killing. But I see other dope musicians and such, and I'm just like, I don't even have it. Like I don't even have the sauce like that. As a matter of fact, I deferred um a year at Berkeley just because there were YouTube, and YouTube was kind of just popping. There was this arrangement that was out. It was a Michael Jackson tribute because Michael Jackson had just died, and some students at Berkeley had put this video out on YouTube, and I mean, it was some of the best music and dancing and such that I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw that, I was just like, yeah, no, I don't think I'm cut. I don't think I'm cut out for not that school. You know what I mean? It's just like I don't have it, but something in me, you know what I mean? You can call it whatever you want to, but something in me was just like,
Down on the inside.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I know you joking, but it's just like,
Yeah.
like it's just something deep down on the inside that just want. I mean, my daddy's a Marine too, you know what I mean? Marines don't quit. But it's just like something just would not let me quit. It's just like again, I need a chance, and it's like it's got to be better than this. It's
Mm-hmm.
got to be this. It just has to be. I can't be a child of the king, you know what I'm saying? Like living boo boo, like you know what I'm saying. So it's just like it's got to be better than this.
So what is up with the glove? People don't know the story of the glove. Like, what is that about? How did you grab that name? It's like your signature now. Like, what is the story of the glove?
I mean, the obvious thing is Mike Jackson. To me, he is just the greatest entertainer of all time. And like he was the only dude who rocked the glove. You know what I mean? And I was looking trying to brand myself because at the time I didn't feel like I was that good. I was like, man, I need something to where when people see me, they'll like, I don't know who Jscott is, but that guy with the glove. You know what I mean? And so boom, there it is. And I mean, again, I've played with some great people. And a lot of them don't know who J. Scott Martin is, but they know who the glove is, or they remember like, yo, it was some bass player, like, dude just had a glove on, like, man, he was killing me. Man, he had a glove on, like, you know what I mean? And so it's just like, there's no way they'll ever forget, who I am.
I love it. I mean, I watch YouTube music and you pop. I text you. I'm like, J Scott, you're on my TV. And it's a thing.
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know, but I keep telling him, I'm like, man, he's gonna win a Grammy one day, John. I'm like, you're gonna win a Grammy, and I
Yeah,
say it all the time because I believe it. Like I really do for like writing, producing, arrangement. I see that, and I'm like, bro, you're gonna win a Grammy one day because you're
yeah.
that dope.
Yeah. And I mean, and you, I mean, since I've known you, you've been saying that, and I was kind of just like, okay, chameleonaire, like, okay, but like now things aren't so out of reach. You know what I mean? Yeah. And as a matter of
And you up
fact,
there like, I want to give honor to the guy who's ahead of my life, and also my girl Cam from Nashville. Fuck you, baby. I'm be like, I told you.
yeah.
Yeah.
When I did a tribute for a Berkeley function in 2018, and my band, we had to play for LL Cool J, and
Ladies love cool. What?
ladies, yeah. When I saw him, because I did the tribute, like my band, we did the tribute, and then he rapped and we played for him. Um, when I was standing, I was here, and like LL was right there, and I was professional, boom, we in there, we doing our thing, but like in my mind, I was just like, man, this is the GOAT, like, you know what I
Were you
mean?
fanning out? Were you fanning out on the inside?
I mean, I say no just because, like, you meet people, but like that moment was the moment where I was just like, nothing's out of reach, nothing's too far
Yeah.
out of. I mean, I'm like, shoot, LL's right here, like we dap me up and everything, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I know a lot of people see LL now as like the actor, like, you know what I'm saying? But I remember LL the rapper, like, you know what I mean? So like just to rock with him, like that literally was the moment. 2018, I'll never forget. That was the moment I was just like, nothing's too far out of reach.
See, and if you had to quit on yourself, you would not have been there.
And Chameleon there, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, man, come on, dude. Come on, man. Like, seriously, if I say it again.
I said, what is your key? A flat?
Well. But I mean, for real, man, it's just like so many people miss opportunities because they just quit. You know what I mean? And quitting is easy.
Mm-hmm.
Quit staying in the race is it's not always so easy. But and I don't want to make it sound like me, I, me. And because it was definitely God, you know what I mean? But I am me. So in that case, it was me, you know what I mean? And I didn't quit because I could have, you know what I'm saying? Like I just, yeah, I'm just grateful.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So outside of Michael Jackson and LL Cool J, what are some of your other musical influences? Like, who do you listen to? Like, if we were to go on your playlist like right now, like, what is outside of like the common bops, like your go-tos? Who are your OGs on your playlist?
OGs on my playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Stevie, of course. Um, oh gosh, it's crazy because it's like, okay, I have like the Stevies and like the Princes and the Michael Jacksons, but then I have like the Living Color and Aerosmith and different things like that. My daddy um actually made sure that we listened to not just like R&B and such. Like he wanted us to be cultured in other music too. So um yeah, I gotta shout those guys out.
A diverse musical palette.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, geez. I mean, oh God, Busta, LL, DMX, Biggie. I mean, there's a lot of Isley Brothers. Those are like the OGs. But I guess some of the more current people I listen to. I listen to it all, like from gospel to R&B to country to metal. I mean, just being a musician and a solid musician, it's like I feel like you should be well versed, you know what I'm saying, at everything. That's how you make the money, you know what I mean? It's like if all I'm playing is jazz music, then I can't stretch. But if I do jazz and I do R&B, I do pop, classical, all those things, and reading music.
Right.
Amen. All the brothers out there that really want to get your game up, you know what I'm saying? Learn how to read music. And thank you, Ron Gilmore. Shout out my boy Ron. Thank you for forcing me to learn how to read music.
So now, when you look at music, Jscott, and there's so many covers now, it's like
Mhm.
cover overload between that and autotune. And it's like, I feel like, I guess because I was around you and Kendall so much, and being around David Settles and
Mhm.
James Dunn and Chucky and
Mhm.
people within the church, and these are people that are like the bomb, like
Yep.
musicians.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And so when I come out of that and then I hear things, because I heard it so much growing up as a child, I'm like,
Mhm.
if this person didn't have these computers and all this assistance, I'm like, who are they as an artist? I feel like to really respect music for what it is, just because I heard it so much around you guys growing up, the importance of being able to read music, know different keys, could switch on a dime, just the versatility.
Mhm.
As you know, in church, anything can change in a moment, so you have to be able to
Yeah.
stick with it. So knowing
Mhm.
if somebody's singing, to find the key quick. Those
Mhm.
things are important. And a lot of people now that sing and they can't play an instrument at all. So
Mhm.
one, how do you feel about we're living in the generation of cover? And then two, what do you feel about the artistry of music versus just grabbing a mic?
Um. Well, I'll just say this. I think, and I guess I'll answer from a if you want to be successful type of place. I feel like you cannot get caught up in like what you're accustomed to. Um, Now I'm a church musician all day. You know what I mean? That's why I learned. And let me just shout out to church musicians, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't get a lot of love. We don't get a lot of love. A lot of times we have to play a whole bunch of different genres because that's just what gospel music is. You know what I mean? You get the rock and then you get the R&B, and then you got your foot stomping, hand clapping type of traditional church and whatnot. And that really helps a lot of us be successful and in our own right. I think where it stops is we just stop there at church, and it's just like, okay, yeah, I know how to back up the preacher, but I don't know what I'm doing. Um, I meet a lot of musicians who, and no knock to them because I was the same way. It's like we don't know what C major is, we don't know what F major is, F minor. You know what I mean? And those are the things that I feel like will just put you just that much more above the next guy. You know what I mean? But what I was getting to is just not being trapped in the box. Like I was trapped in the gospel box. You know what I'm saying? That's all I know. You know what I'm saying? That's all I knew. And when I was able to, and I'll say this, I was scared to step out of the boundaries because it's like, okay, come on, you're apostolic and like, different things. It's like, if it ain't, at the cross, you're going to go to hell. Like, I mean,
Yeah, and I hear that from, when you hear the stories of like Kirk Franklin, Malin Music, Pouring Ham, Deidre
mm-hmm,
Patton, and how they have these labels, but they're really
mm-hmm,
like a bridge,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But it's like when I was able to step outside of that, and it's just like, man, let me listen to the Destiny's Child album. Let me listen to Busta Rhymes album. Let me listen to um Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I think again, and this goes back to just being versed. I think that's what will make you
right?
uh, successful.
Yeah, I think also too. I listen to other interviews just because I want to be better at what I do. But
Mm-hmm.
people I've heard, particularly
And
with artists, they
you doing?
all, huh?
I said you doing good, girl.
So a lot of people, a lot of artists, when you ask them who are their influencers when it comes to music, I don't care what genre, they're all like the Clark sisters.
All
They
right.
they Clark
Yeah.
sisters is like on when you ask Eric Clapton, people from the Beatles, what's his name? Not John Lennon. What's his name? The other guy in the Beatles. I can't think of his name.
Paul
Paul
McCartney.
McCartney. Like
Yeah,
all
yeah,
these different artists, when they name their list of artists, the Clark sisters is like on everybody's list.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and so it's like regardless of what genre, a lot of those chords and the movements come from Black gospel.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
Side note, you speaking of the Beatles. So on my line there was four of them. Still, I was number four, and my line name is Ringo Starr, just
what?
like the drummer from the Beatles. So when we were pledging like my LBs, they would spit the poems and stuff like that, and I always make the beats and stuff with my body and such. So you know what I mean. All right, shout out to my line. Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, Gamma Chapter. No questions. Summer 13. Tell dog, never fail dog.
Okay, we don't want you breaking down shields and spitting history. We want to pause you here, bro. They're like, you have a flashback. Greetings.
Right.
No, we ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, no,
But,
I'm good. I'm good.
yeah. So, and then also my second question was, what do you think about? You kind of touched on a little bit the generation of covers. Like we're just cover auto tune heavy with the mumble rap and um, um, I don't know what to call it, because in between all that, I find myself having to filter, and I find people that I listen to outside of gospel. Like I like Anderson .Paak, I like Miguel, I like
Yeah,
Jackie Sullivan, I like Ariana Lennox, you know,
yeah.
Summer Walker. So it's just like I love one of my favorite artists, musicians. I love Robert Glasper. Like he is amazing to me.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You know, Jscott. You know, and so those are the people. And I like Robert Glasper just because him and PJ Morton love them. And yes, you have to pause. But I definitely, though, when it comes to music, now, don't even get me wrong. When I'm in a mood, I might throw on some Nipsey or whatever. When I'm listening to music, those are the artists I listen to. So what do you think about now when you just have people throwing in an album versus a musician or someone that's really for real about the art?
I think that we just have to respect everybody in the lane that they're in. Because for example, I like when I was coming up, one of my favorite rappers was Busta Rhymes. And it's like, and at that time I thought Busta was lit, you know, but my parents are like, boy, you know, that ain't what is that? Now, if you want to hear some real music, you know what I'm saying, put on Marvin Gaye, put on Luther Vandross, like, you know what I'm saying? And so I think music is just relative to the time. You know what I mean? It's not fair for my parents to say that Busta Rhymes isn't music because he's not playing scales.
Right.
You know, but actually, if you listen to Busta Rhymes, I think his respect, or whoever his producer is, I think the respect for music was there, because if you go back and listen to the samples that they pick from, it's from top-notch musicians. So it's like there has to be some type of musicianship, you know, for even like grab the sample and you know, make a track. Like I used to say,
Because when he did "Give Me Some More" and he played the violin from a Misery, I think Hotel. You know, the symphony. I was like, what? You know, that's classical.
Exactly, and that's my point. Like Kanye West used to do it all the time. I mean, he's a sample king, at least, especially back, you know, when he was first coming
him,
out.
Mary, and R. Kelly, they were like the sample kings and queens of our time. You know.
Yeah. And I always used to say, like, man, that's not real music. Like, if he can't sit down and play it, you know what I'm saying, that's not real. But again, it's like to have a mindset to hear like the Clark sisters and to be like, you made my and then take it, you like, you know what I'm saying, to make it to what you like, you know what I mean, that takes genius to do that, you know what I mean? So I my answer is, you know, music is always changing. You know, Earth, Wind and Fire, I'm sure did not think the music would sound like it sounds right now, you know what I mean? But it's just like, you just have to respect everybody in their lane, you know what I'm saying? Meg, Thee Stallion, Cardi, it's like they all have their lane. It might not be the lane I like, but it's not fair for me to say that that's not music. I might have my own opinion, you know what I'm saying? It's not fair for me to say like, oh, that's not music, you know what I mean? Because it is. It might not be as complex as Beethoven and Tchaikovsky or Stevie, and any of the other goats, but it's music, you know what I mean, and we just have to respect it because it is lit, you know what I mean, and just like Chaka Khan got our parents jumping back in the day, you know what I'm saying? I mean, NBA young boy and the the baby and everybody else that they just doing what all the previous people did. So
I love it. So if you could give like a takeaway, like a nugget or jewel that you would drop to close out before we wrap this up, what would it be, like a word of advice? And they don't have to be musicians, just for young men out there listening, men listening that may be going through their storm right now, listening like, man, I need to quit, or I want to quit and I can't do this. I feel like I'm by myself alone, or I'm living a life this way, like I'm fronting, but nobody knows it's really like this. What do you say to the men listening that just to encourage them?
Just see it through. And I mean, and we always use that, in Omega land, but if I got anything from Pleasant, it wasn't the process so much. It was just like they would always say, like, what you're going through, somebody else clearly has been successful in, even though, when you're, or when I was pledging, anybody that's pledging, when you're at the bottom, everybody else looks humongous. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looks big, but it's like, if you can just take it one step at a time. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying you won't cry. I'm not going to say you won't feel pain or whatever it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, even when I was at the church, it's just like, okay, I wake up and I hear the church mother vacuuming the church. It's just like, okay, it's not going to be like this forever. You know what I mean? When I was at Berkeley and I was struggling, it's just like, okay, this sucks now, but it's not going to be like this forever. You know what I mean? If I could just hold on just a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Eventually I'll see it through, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll go from, bumming at the church to my own spot. And then once I get my own spot, then I can lift as I climb, you know what I'm saying, and help the next, little homie that's trying to come up and do his thing. And it's amazing, Chameleonaire, how many people come up to me now and they're just like, yo, Glove, like, I heard the arrangement, man. That mug is crazy. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just like the same arrangements that I hear right now that I'm out of the storm, were the same ideas and musical things that I was hearing when I was sleeping on the church benches. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it was always there. You know what I mean? But I just had to, just be patient, have faith, and, see it through. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a season. It's not always going to be glittery, like, you know what I'm saying? So just see it through, man. See it through. If I've learned anything from or taken anything from Omega and implemented it in my own life, it's just see it through, man. See it through. If you can just see it through, man, I guarantee there's gonna be light at the end of the tunnel.
I love it. Thank you. Also, one of your bros checked in. He said, my bro, Terrence Williams, Antoinette Simmons. Thank you.
Hey, what up? Wait, Terrence Williams?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's my dog. That's my boy. That's my boy.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. And also, Jscott, I just want to say again, I am so proud of you. Thank you. I thank you for seeing it through, not quitting. So many people that didn't make it, but you made it. And what you see now is just the tip of the iceberg. Like, when that next door opens, please let me have the exclusive so you come back.
Man, yeah, you already know.
Exclusive on that. So, and also, I want to dedicate this episode to one of my brothers and friends from Middle Tennessee State University. Reggie Thomas passed away last night from COVID. So a lot of us from MTSU, our hearts are heavy today with Reggie passing. So we want to dedicate this episode to Reggie Thomas and his family, Sean, Dee Dee, Ernest, Michelle, those of us that really just knew him like that. So anyone else that's passed away from COVID as well, we dedicate this episode to you. So with that being said, I do hope that someone got something from this episode, that it gave you hope and light to see that you can make it, no matter how hard things may be, no matter the struggle. It's, you think this is it. It's not. And like Jscott said, it will not always be like this. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in. This is Camille Essick, host of the Speaker Podcast. And until next time, be blessed. Bye.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.